Okay, so this video we are going to discuss with some partial questions that ask you all to sketch the inequality that involve the complex number. Okay, so we are having example 17 and also example 18. All right, so maybe I will try example 18, okay, with you, then you try example 17 on your own. All right, so if you look at the question here, generally, you will see that they actually asking you to sketch maybe more than one inequality lah. All right. Okay, so here let's have a look for the question first. So you're having u equals to 2 plus 2i. They want you to sketch an Argand diagram showing the point representing the complex number 1, I, and u. So you need to plot three things here. Okay, the complex number 1, the complex number I, and also the u. Okay, so this is very simple. Okay, so maybe for me, I will just sketch it like this, and then this is 1 unit, let's say. Then this is 2 unit. Okay, so they want you to have a 1. So 1 means 1 0, which is this part. I means this, and also 2 plus 2i. So this is 2 plus 2i, and you can label it as u lah. So this is imaginary axis, and this is the real axis. Okay, then we're done for the first part here. Alright, so they want you to shape the region whose point represent the complex number z, which satisfies both inequality. So you're having two inequality here. This is the first one, and this is the second one. Alright, so maybe for the first one, I will use blue color to sketch it down. So I'm having z minus 1 modulus smaller equals to z minus I modulus. Alright, so again, I need to adjust it, become z minus a complex number modulus smaller equals to z minus a complex number modulus. Alright, so for this part, I'm having 1 plus 0i. This part, I will have 0 plus I, 0 plus 1i, right? Okay, so this is the adjustment that I'm doing. So here, this point itself is 1, 0. This point itself is 0, 1, which is these 2 points that they asked you to plot just now. Okay, and then what you need to do is you need to draw the perpendicular bisector for this. So where is the perpendicular bisector for this one? Okay, so I want to get the perpendicular bisector for this line. What is the midpoint here? Okay, so midpoint, very easy. You should have 1 plus 0 divided by 2, then 0 plus 1 divided by 2. Alright, so you're having half and half. Okay, so this is your midpoint. And then again, as what I mentioned to you earlier, perpendicular bisector. So if you can see that the passing point is 1, x and y intercept are 1. So that means on this gradient should be equals to 1. So when gradient equals to 1, it will pass through 0, 0. It will pass through the 2, 2. So when you try to join all the lines together, all the points together, so this is your perpendicular bisector, which means that these two are having the same distance, and then this is your perpendicular, okay, 90 degree, and this is your first complex number, the complex locus z. All right, so this one. Yeah, then the second locus is, maybe I can use the purple color. So they say modulus z minus u smaller equals to 1. Okay, so z minus u smaller equals to 1. So what is the u actually? So the u, they already give you the coordinate, right? So the minus, you just copy the minus, put in the u in your inequality here. So your u should be 2 plus 2i. So this is what it means by z minus u smaller equals to 1. So from here, you can see that very obvious, this should be a circle, okay, with the radius 1 and the center is 2, 2. So this is your circle center, and then it will pass through all these. So I roughly plot out the 4 points here. Okay, then I will have a circle. So again, if let's say in exam, if possible, you can try to sketch it by using a coin or whatsoever tools that you want to bring in. All right, but just make sure that you draw a nice one, a nice circle. Okay, so this is a circle. This is another locus that you need to draw. Then now they are asking for these two inequality. Okay, so at this part, okay, generally you need to focus on two area only. Either you need to shape this area, the area above the perpendicular bisector, or this area, the area which is lower at the lower than the perpendicular bisector. Okay, so you're having two area here for this one. So which is the area that you should try to shape? So again, the meaning of this one is distance from Z to the point 1, 0. They want it to be smaller than distance from Z to the point 0, 1. Okay, so distance from point Z to 1, 0. Z to 1, 0 means here. Okay, then Z to 0, 1 means here. Okay, so they want the yellow color area to be shorter or smaller than the green color one. Okay, so if they want the yellow to become shorter, right, that means your Z must be somewhere at here lah, so that eventually the distance becomes shorter than the Z to 0, 1. Understand what I said or not? So that means you assume that your Z is here. Your Z is here. Okay, so Z to 0, 1 or to 1, 0 becomes smaller than Z to 0, 1. Alright, so again, this is the area that you should shape, okay, for the first inequality. Okay, for the first inequality. And after that, you look for the second inequality. So they said Z minus the complex number smaller equals to 1. So that means it is a circle and they want it to be the distance smaller than 1. If you don't understand, then maybe I write out the word again. So for this one, what does it mean? This one means that distance, okay, from Z to the point 2, 2 should be smaller equals to 1. So on the line itself is equals to 1. So they want it to be smaller. So smaller means that you need to shape the area inside the circle. So they want your answer to fulfill both inequality. Alright, so where is the overlapping area of these two inequality here? So very obvious, you can see this part got green color and yellow color one, right? Okay, therefore your final answer should belongs to this part only. So I will erase all this. Okay, so my final answer for shaded area should be this one, the orange color part. So maybe this line you need to extend a bit more. So this is the shaded area that they want. So this area actually fulfill two inequality that requested by the question. Okay, so I hope that you roughly know how to sketch the area correctly, especially for the perpendicular bisector one. A lot of students, they might not know how to decide. Okay, so spend some time and try to understand. Okay, so this is what we have for example 18. So if you can, you try to pause the video now, attempt example 17 first. Then for me, I will straight away sketch the answer of example 17 for you without discussing with you. Alright, so I hope that you can actually get the answer. Example 17 is not hard actually. Okay, so I'm having 1 point here, and then the point actually pass through this. This value is square root 3. And then I'm having a line. Okay, then I'm having a circle. Hey, my circle is not so nice now. Okay, draw again. Okay, so the area, shaded area should be this area. I think for this question, there's not much, not many labels. So this is what we have. Okay, and then I know that it passed through 1 and square root 3 is because of the angle here is pi over 3. Okay, so you try and see whether you can get this as answer or not. Alright, can okay, so hopefully you can try out on your own and see whether you get what they want here or not. Okay.